I know you said spellbook is a little uncomfortable. You don't know how to use it, but I mean, you're never gonna learn unless like you use it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
don't be afraid to lose games just because you're D2 and people are gonna be like, oh, D2 hard stuck. Doesn't mean you have to be afraid of like losing games. It's just people being insecure and annoying, to be honest. Like,
Right.
because it'll be people who are D2 that are gonna say that. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But
I know exactly what you're talking about.
so right away, Zoe versus you at level 1. Who's gonna win? You every time because it's a lot easier for you to dodge Zoe's Q than it is for her to dodge yours, as well as your auto attacks just beat hers. So, and you also can, she can't play behind minions to avoid your Q. You can play behind minions to avoid hers. So we just want to think about that right away from the lane. So you start autoing the wave, get the wave in your favor. But I don't really like that we're standing so far back up here. Why aren't we just right here, just in this little pocket right here, or even right here?
Right.
From this place, it's easier for us to like if Zoe like walks up here to auto this, we can maybe like walk down here and then we can Q through this wave and hit her without hitting any minions. And we can
Right.
also, I mean, even if we do Q like through the minions, we're gonna hit maybe 1 or 2 melees instead of like, if we're standing over here, we Q and we hit, I guess, 2 melees, but it's longer range from here onto her. Like it's gonna be hard to Q
Right.
her. And you're kind of playing afraid of her, but for what? Because if you're right here, she Qs. Yes, it has like an AoE thing, but you just step aside from it for just a second, right? And then you can just step right back in. Her Q's on cooldown, and you can just kind of like walk at her because she's got no Q, and your autos just by default win, right?
Right.
And at that point, if your bubble's on you too, you have armor MR. So we walk up to go for the Q, but I think we just should have been in range of it to begin with. We don't have to really be so afraid of the level 1 Zoe, right? And we're just kind of
Once I
giving her
have.
too, like, she shouldn't be able to auto this minion for free. Like we're respecting her too much. Screw this Zoe. I don't want to give her this free auto attacks on this minion, right? It's like
Right.
obviously, and then when you are here and you walk up to Q her, she knows to juke because you're telling her like, hey, I'm coming at you. But if
Right.
I'm just putting myself right here, where again, if I see her Q, I just step back for a second and dodge it because she's gonna hit this minion, and I don't want to give it that like the AOE. Then when the Q's on cooldown, then I can like kind of just force her out of the lane because she can't really walk back into me because when she does, I just throw my Q at her while I'm walking away, right? So I want to be a little bit more of an aggressive stance right from the start. So when she comes up to hit this minion, I can tell her no, like, hey, if you're gonna go for this minion, you're gonna take some damage, because I want to get the slow push going in my favor because I already know that level 1 I should beat Zoe.
Hmm.
Like even from that minion, I'm like, wasn't the worst in that case because there's not minions for her to hide behind, but I still think you can dodge Zoe's Q pretty easily. Like, and maybe you get hit by him a lot. I know you get hit by him this game a couple times, but like you gotta build that skill up. You gotta work on dodging the Qs, and that like if
Right.
you're never trying to, you're never gonna learn how to.
Just have to walk up, and I'm gonna lose games because I'm gonna just eat all
Yeah,
of them until I figure it out.
yeah. So what happened here? This is when you do it, which is like eat all of them, right? Until you figure it out. I mean, kind of, yeah. Like, how are you gonna learn if you're not making the mistake? But I mean, look at the way you juke here, right? So I kind of want to again on this minion, I want to just be like right here. So when she's gonna go auto this, I'm gonna be able to like hit her with my Q.
Right.
Like, because look at these 3 minions. You don't really have anything to last hit. I mean, this will be pretty close, but you're gonna be able to Q this then auto her, or Q her and then auto this. I mean. It's
Right.
not like you have to Q auto her or Q like you know what I mean? Like your Q doesn't take a cast time. Like you can auto while you're doing it.
Hmm.
So at this point, like there's not really any minions for you to have. So we're doing it a little late. It's still okay though because I think you can hit her. But like watch the way you juke is she casts it again and you click so far away. Why are we clicking so far up here? And why are we even clicking this way? You're going straight. You're like
Going
panicking.
against
You're
it.
panicking that she's gonna like that. You're just like she's gonna hit you. So I don't really
Right.
want to go for like a backwards movement. I want to go like sharp this way or sharp this way, whichever way I think she's gonna aim it at. Because if you click this way, if she's aimed it at you, you get hit every single time.
Right.
Even if you click back here, back here, back here, back here, all of these angles are not sharp enough that you're just like your champion's basically moving straight. Even if you click like we say like, oh, we want to click here. Even if you click up here, this is still too slow because your champ's going more
Right.
diagonally instead of like straight perpendicular. So just be confident in that you can dodge her. I just, to be honest, I think this at doing it at this point in the lane, which may be in the live time.
Sorry.
Oh my god, that was a dog. I thought that was you. I was like, dude, what are you doing? No, it's okay.
Do you want him?
I've got dogs too. I know how it is.
Just having a moment.
No, I just literally thought it was you. I was like, dude, I'm
No,
sorry. I'm
no.
sorry. I don't know what I said. I'm sorry, man. God. And then
Like
I
holy
read.
shit, dude! It just
Yeah. Um, but right, I think is this first wave. So we should from level one just be kind of interface a little bit more.
right in her face, and then
Just play into your win condition, right? She's got a Q that you can very easily play around. It's got conditions. It can't go through things like yours can. Your autos are also more damage. I mean, she has got her passive with her Q, but if it's like at that point, it's like okay, two autos and I pretty much win. Um,
right,
so then when we do finally walk up, which so what we can be doing is pressuring her on this minion because you know she's going for this, and you just want to be aware of how long do I have before I need to last hit these, right? Which I've got a little
right,
bit of time, and again, I can be here and I can Q at her when to pressure this, and I can still be ready to auto this to last hit. That's why like Syndra and Ori are so nice and like laning, and that's why like good Ori and Syndras feel so oppressive, is because they don't have to like commit to one or the other; they can do both. But so when we finally do pressure, it's like we did want to do it on this minion, but now it's dead. Now we're like, okay, now there's not really an immediate way to like she kind of has a free window to like, hey, you're gonna walk at me right now, like, okay, I don't have anything else to do, so she can hit you now. So now it's kind of an awkward time to go into her, but you know you can still play to dodge the Q, and you'll probably still even out the trade, or it'll be pretty advantageous to you. But if you're gonna eat everything, it's it's gonna be
yeah,
not.
you can get you.
But it's still okay though. Like obviously getting hit by that's bad, but thankfully that because the wave's in a good spot, like she still can't do anything to you. It's just that if you get ganked, you're a lot more vulnerable now, and you're also losing your like some of your sustain for
Right, but I'm not like
like
super worried about level 2 Echo gank.
yeah, exactly. So you're not totally panicked. Even now, like look how afraid you are, right? Didn't she just Q? I think she Qs right here, right? We see her.
Isn't
She
the
goes out of
cooldown
she
like
goes out of vision.
5 or
She's
6
always gonna Q.
seconds?
Yeah. So it doesn't
Oh, okay,
doesn't mean you
okay,
have
I
to
see
like
what you mean.
doesn't
Yeah,
mean you
yeah.
have to run at her and like all in her, but pressure her.
Okay,
Make her feel the cooldowns. Like, why is she walking so far up with no cooldowns? I know you queued a minion, which kind of is not worth it, honestly, because you want to be able to queue her on this. I don't know why do we queue this minion actually. So right now, also by the way, we are slow pushing. We don't need to auto this.
right,
We don't need to auto. If we auto, all we're doing is making it crash faster. We want to crash on like third or fourth wave. Third wave is like best because you can do the cheater recall, or you can, you have a big window because if it's third wave, you're gonna have this wave stacked up. Obviously, it'll be thinned out by the time this wave dies. Maybe we'll have like 4 or 5 minions left, but that's still a lot. And then the next wave comes in, we have like 10 plus minions with a cannon. Zoe is going to feel terrible. You can hit her under her turret with QWs that whole time. You can recall and buy a Dark Seal or an extra Doran's Ring. You can go ward. You can do whatever makes you like. You can roam. You've got so much time, right?
right,
Just in the moment. Probably in this game, you just hit Zoe under her turret. Maybe duck out, get a little ward on Raptors, and then start hitting Zoe under her turret. But if you even if you just put like 1 or 2 autos on that first minion, you're gonna make it push immediately so much faster, and it's just gonna crash. Do we queue this?
right,
Yeah, you don't want to have to do this. This is really bad. This is a really bad queue. You never want to have to do this. You're wasting mana for a minion that like you should just be getting off a last hit because you don't need to be spam autoing it for the reasons just stated. So your Q needs to be held now to hit her every time she wants to farm because you're already pushing. So you don't need anything artificial to make it push in anymore.
right,
So all I want to do is think about how can I make Zoe not farm, and that's just pressuring her. And also I want to hit her. So if she's gonna get farm, I want her to either have to like spend mana, which because every time her Q goes on cooldown, I get to like a window of feeling really good. And then if she's gonna like try to auto it, or even sometimes if she does try to Q, like I want to make her take damage for it. Like there's a trade off, and I want her. A lot of the time they're gonna get panicked and they're gonna miss CS because you don't have this. They don't have this. They're like, fuck, I have this one window to hit this minion, and then you're pressuring them, and they just feel bad, and then they miss the CS. But we need to be getting these minions with autos, and we need to just be like focusing our Qs at the Zoe whenever she walks up.
right,
And this crash is just early. Like, see how small this wave is? It just feels bad. And now we're really gonna see why it feels bad as soon as this wave dies. Grouped up enemy minion wave. We already recognize if I can't clear this out, this is slow pushing into me now, right?
right.
Do you recognize that?
Yeah,
Okay, good. So this feels really bad because now Zoe can play like still around her turret behind her wave while autoing minions down. You can't really do much about it because you're like to pressure now. Like it's a 7v7 wave. You don't have the minion advantage. You don't have like the earlier things we talked about where you're able to just wait for last hits and queue her. She's gonna be able to just stand in her wave now and just like auto minions and just play around you. And if you're only like looking to pressure, it's just slowly gonna push towards you, which is just gonna mean Zoe's gonna get a recall off, or she's gonna crash a big wave and move. and that sucks for you because you're gonna be
Right.
stuck. It's like now you're like forced like auto, and also the waves like up this far up, and it's like where's Echo? Pretty easy gank. I don't know how Elise gets his red. I don't know where the heck this Echo started, dude. I have no idea how he pathed, but whatever. He might be on our red or something, which also is dangerous. Now he comes behind us. But it's easy for jungler to get behind us now, and the wave's just in a spot where it's like until the next wave comes in, it's going to be sitting here for a while. That last hitting for
Right.
you, like this is Zoe's when if you're the Zoe now, like you're like, oh, I can pressure her a little bit because I can just like pretend my jungler's here, and you basically every time she faints, like her jungler's here, you're gonna have to believe it, or you get bubbled and then take a lot of damage. Because if she starts walking into you, you're not gonna be like, oh hey, this Zoe's trying to all in me. You're gonna be like, Echo's here, right?
Echoes here. Fuck, fuck, fuck,
Yeah,
run.
exactly. So she can just keep being like kind of walking at you and forcing you off the wave. But we kind of get it back in our favor. But see, we're just stuck right here right now, and it just sucks because we don't have a good enough position to be able to constantly pressure Zoe. So she just keeps getting to even like every time I'm autoing a minion, she's autoing a minion. I'm queuing her or trying to queue her the wave, she's queuing the wave. It's like I'm just stuck here, and it's like such a gankable, vulnerable spot for you.
Right.
And this is literally because we just crashed second wave too early. And we're not like Zoe's not low enough. Like okay, first two waves, maybe if I got Zoe to like less than like half HP and she's got no potions somehow, I don't know how, but like let's just say that. Then on this third wave, you're full HP, you can pressure her a lot more right here. She's not gonna feel
Right.
like because you're already just winning by HP. But right now it's like we're about even. I just don't feel comfortable being so aggressive on her. So first waves are really important, and then I know I saw it. You're about to flash this Raptors wall. Never do
I
it.
was about to do it.
You're dead no matter what. And if you just blow your flash, it just makes it so much easier for Echo to gank you now. Like you're just fucked. So this was I think this was like twice where you almost let Zoe get away with this, which is really problematic. If you like you can stop her recall and hold this wave and threaten her to like force her to stay. Because even though you died, you're ahead right now. You have Dark Seal. She just has
Yeah.
Doran's ring, and you have refillable,
I was this time. I was
and
gonna
she's no
stop
mana.
her.
Okay, and
I
she's
was
no
just
mana.
I was just waiting.
Hmm.
Like she has to either
Okay,
walk
okay,
away or like just stay there.
yep, that's fine. But then it like where is it now? No, we're doing okay now. I think this was there. I don't remember if there's one or two times where we're like trying to pull the wave. I think it was twice.
Yeah, there was another time.
So this was fine. I'm okay. If you were waiting for it, that's totally okay. Just
Yeah.
I totally believe you on that. Obviously, I think you D2 usually you're aware of that by now. But she's no mana, so you should be pressuring her like super super hard right now. This is where it is,
Right.
right? Pull the wave here. Even though you get exhausted, don't be afraid. She's no mana. She just used her spells. Just then she used her last of her mana now. No mana. Echo ganking you would be like unfortunate, but guess what? This is why we still have our flash up, baby. Like this is why we keep that flash because Echo alone can't really kill you right now, and this ward's fine too. But you should be like walking up further now, like because now that she saw you do this cut down toward the brush,
Yeah.
she is gonna recall wherever she sees you, wherever she is when she sees you do this, right? So if these break aggro, you can just run here and try to like Q her again and stop her recall again. Because the more if you do that, dude, she's so tilted. She's so tilted. Like don't int for it if it's like a spot where like you don't feel comfortable. But I think Echo, I think you're pretty safe from Echo. I don't think he'll be able to kill you. He has to land the stun to kill you.
Right.
And even if he does, I think you actually would survive it. To be honest, with your shield, I think you'd be really low and you'd be
Plus
forced to
phase
recall, but
rest.
you would survive it. Yeah, you'd definitely survive it. So this was good that we held the wave, but I think we could have like stepped up towards her one more time, like
Right.
and just tried. Like you don't have to go all the way to her turret, but just try to see if you can see her from like a safe position. And if she's there, stop her. If she's not, great, just keep your freeze going. And this is really big for you. Like you got killed,
Yeah.
but you're ahead in XP now. You're definitely ahead in XP, and you're gonna hit 6 sooner, which means you're gonna be able to play around your 6 spike. And Zoe's 6 spike really isn't that big of a deal to you, anyways. Uh, Wave reset. How did this actually? Did we let this go? Oh yeah, she came late. Duh. My bad.
Yeah. I can.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
can't
want to
hold
try
that.
and stop that.
Yeah, not worth. Yeah, I agree. If you're ahead of her, like if you have like lost chapter or something, I think, and she's like by some miracle, you know what I mean? If you're like snowballing this line, I think you can hold it on her and pressure her because a Q from her doesn't really mean that much to you. But at
Yeah.
that point, yeah, you're the right call.
Like
Absolutely.
2/3 health, and like I have a dark seal, and she has like at least the same.
Yeah.
I think she had 2 amp
Hmm.
tomes or something.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So we crash this, and what are we looking to do? This is where we just look to get some vision down on like Raptors. Oh, we're gonna recall. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So that's like our options. We either stay if we feel comfortable, which you're pretty low mana, so I get the recall is good. Or you just get the vision on Raptors, or if you're like again, if you have like Lost Chapter and you're healthy, you can just take the Raptors then because you saw Echo Top.
Should I have sold a biscuit for a
Nah,
ping?
nah. I,
Okay.
I don't think it. You could honestly here. You could if you're losing lane really hard and Zoe's gonna be so. If they're gonna be able to shove you in constantly, then no. But if you're able to
Right.
keep the wave even or push her in, then yeah, you can do that. Because if you're gonna be shoved in, you're that like she'll just kill your pink anyway, so it's not worth. Um, but I think in this game you had a chance. So you should be looking at map constantly in this case now because we don't see Zoe. We want to see if we can find Echo. We want to see where our team is. Like I'd Mia ping probably once at this point. As soon as you see this now, this is just shove, 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 shove. Like we're really slow right now. We should already be
Right.
shoving. Still slow, still slow. Wave could already be like almost dead. Literally, it's like so important that we crash as fast as possible. She misses as much as possible, and you can get a plate. Or if this looks like something you can roam to, you could, which obviously right here is not probably an option. So this is where
Right.
you
And
went to
then
ward, and this is where I was like, don't, no, 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 no. For this reason, if you look at hindsight, maybe you
right.
see it better. There's no point in warding.
That's
You already know where Zoe's coming from. You don't see Echo, but like we don't want to find Echo right now. Like you don't want to face check Echo down here and lose half your HP for no reason.
right.
Because then Zoe comes to lane and you're like, oh shit. Whereas instead, if anything, just go for plate, or like ward up here, go for plate, and then if you see Echo here, you know immediately I have to like run this way, or like you maybe have your play to like just commit towards running
Right.
towards Echo so that Zoe doesn't catch up to you.
I
You
mean, I
know?
have like phase rush, so like I
Yeah,
think I can run through Echo.
yeah. You can just QW auto him and just walk away, or QWE him and walk away, right?
You shouldn't be able to CC me.
Yeah. But so if Zoe ever like if you try to run this way or something and Zoe like is able to pinch you, now it could be bad because you can get bubbled and that's gonna be bad. So just play to that condition. I think Zoe's coming down here, so I'm gonna play up here. I can ward this just to make sure Echo's not here, and then if I see him, I just run into him. If depending on like if right as you got to the turret, you warded this and Echo's here, you can probably just fight
Right.
him.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Because
Zoe's
he's
still
not
way down
fixed.
here, and Zoe's still way down here. But
Yeah.
if it's been like 10 seconds and now you see him run because Zoe's like right here in this area, and now it's going to be bad and just run into him, right? Um, Depending on the champion, you can play it differently. But definitely, like, can you see this now? Look how much time we've just wasted.
Right.
Like, we could already be on the turret pushing the next wave in, which can give us a recall for our Lost Chapter if you can crash that wave immediately. And the ward up here gives us that safety again because we already know where Zoe is. And then even if Echo comes out from like back here or something, or we're here with Zoe, again, just okay, bye. Like see ya. But you can use this vision just to play around it a lot better.
Right.
And now since we didn't do that, now Zoe has a wave to play in now, and it feels kind of like you're not like super weak to her right now, but you're not super strong. Like it's pretty even lane at the moment. You're ahead in XP. I'd say you have the advantage just based on champions, the fact that you can like land your Q so much easier. But
Yeah.
it's not like we didn't push our lead as much as we could if we're just already shoving this wave. Seeing that
Right.
we need what 480 for Lost Chapter or something like that.
Yeah. We could have had
Yeah.
that.
Yep. We'll have it after this wave, and then if we had crashed it faster, we might have even had a plate too, which would be huge. But yeah,
We
so
probably would have had a
definitely
play.
want to play for that here instead of like playing to Zoe, which doesn't matter. I already know where she is. I don't care. What is she gonna do to me?
Right. And we already know where the bot lane is, and
Yep.
only other factor is flashless Echo.
Yeah. So um, hopefully you can see this as like and recognize the future scenarios. Like I don't need to ward for this Zoe right now.
Right.
It's kind of just a waste. Like I said,
Yeah. That's
I'll
like a
get.
big thing
Go ahead.
I do when my laner roams is I ward the side that they are coming back from.
hmm Right. So and even what you could do is like, let's say maybe you have a pink or something. You just like, decide you want to pink this because you're gonna be able to shove this in. Um, or maybe you just normal ward this and you save your pink for later. Or if you have two wards, or if you see Echo somewhere on the map and you know he's not coming for you right now, shove this in. Use the downtime that you shove this in / got plate to now back up. And if you don't need to recall, you can now go ward down here when Zoe's already in lane again.
Right.
And now this ward's a little bit more valuable because now you'll see her roam next time, or you'll see if Echo's trying to gank you through here. But like doing it when you already know that she's pathing this way, it's like that's just pointless because you already know. Like you don't need the vision to see her. Basically, you can track her on the map. Like I
Right.
know where she's at. Um, and then you're gonna get priority on this wave, which would be our Lost Chapter, which would actually be really big. Because if you have Lost Chapter to double amp tome, like that, she feels awful. Because you're
Right.
just
Walk it
you're
in.
gonna perma shove and just spam spells at her. Because freezing on Zoe doesn't really work. She just gets a bubble or she gets a QR onto you and half your HP is gone. And if she doesn't hit you, she hits the wave and the wave's gone immediately, right? Like freezing doesn't really
Yeah,
work on Zoe at that point. So like right here, I was thinking like because Echo's 3v1, I was almost just thinking try to zone Zoe for a bit, but I think this is up to like the situation. Um,
I just saw that
it ends
like
up being
Echo's in
fine.
pit without flash, and I'm like,
Yeah,
let's
no,
kill Echo.
totally ends up being fine. I think that calls.
But yeah, I think
I don't think there's
I
a right
walked
call
too
on
far
zoning Zoe or
back.
not. Um, well, so what I think is that you could just play the fight right here
Right,
instead of being up here. Because from here, with how out of mana she is, like Zoe can't do anything to you, and you just have to kind of like you can ward this and just play for her bubble. Like if she goes back here, you know she's gonna bubble like this, so then you just dodge up or maybe come back here then. Um,
right,
but I think you can at least stand a little bit more towards Zoe and then still hit Echo from here.
right.
But it kind of forces Zoe away from being able to feel comfortable. But she also goes out of mana now, and now she's useless, so you don't need to focus her at all. But then this part where I don't
Yeah,
know
I
why
could
you're
have.
running up. You should just be immediately going towards these guys.
I was just thinking like Zoe kill Zoe, and but like that's not as
Yeah.
relevant
Do
as
we?
like
Well,
getting a double kill.
I guess they ping Zoe Flash bot, but that's one. So maybe you could, but yeah, I think this is just more valuable to go for these guys because you can just chase with your R.
Plus he has blue buff,
But Zoe
and I
would,
want
if
that
you,
blue
yeah,
buff.
yeah, exactly. Actually, you already have a blue buff. You killed Echo. I guess he gave you it. Yeah.
I
So
have the
this was
second
fine,
blue
and
buff.
then go in for the Q Flash. Um, was this where you don't? So you're trying to look how you're trying to Q here. Bad.
Yeah, yeah.
You should
I
either let
should
it
have.
snap to yourself or shield to yourself. Because I
Yeah,
mean, if you cast this here, it takes so long to get here, right? That he just outruns it.
yeah.
Way better to let it either just walk at him until it snaps back to you if you think you have the time for that, or just
That was
shield
just
to
panic.
yourself.
Yeah, I
Yep,
wasn't like
yep. And I saw this a couple times this game. Um,
like I'm not even sure if I would have had to flash if I could have sped myself up there.
yeah, maybe
Like
not.
it would have been
Maybe
close.
you just W then QR him with the edge of the R, right? Pull him back in. So
Yeah.
this is bad call too. You're like, do we dive this? I don't think it's worth. She's level 6. There's outplay potential. You don't have ulti. I mean, like, I just think it's too squishy of champions. And like Zoe, we just saw Zoe mid, and she's gonna crash a big wave. Like, I want to play for that wave. I don't really care about this kill. Like, getting an assist on this Kai'Sa is not really worth me missing this all
How the fuck does it not crash?
because the next wave came.
That's so lucky.
That's what you should be looking at is where this wave
Yeah.
is. Because if this wave's gonna crash and this wave's all the way back here, yeah, I would go for the dive
Right.
because this is already gone no matter what.
But it's not.
But
It's
it's
a
not.
fucking huge wave. It's
Yep,
like a
and
kill's worth of gold
it's
anyway.
gonna stack. So that's why I'm like shove this out with her and just leave. And honestly, I think her and Senna alone, like if Senna lands the W, Caitlyn traps, she's dead anyways.
Yeah.
Like they don't really need you that much. And then again, you have blue buff, so this is like kind of the honey fruit's useless to you right here, really. Like
Just lets me
great, it
down.
gives you a little bit mana, but yeah, that's why like I was trying to tell you like look at the wave. How much time do you have? Because maybe you could get this like if you know that you're gonna have time. But honestly, you want to try to get there before Zoe crashes it, so you can lock Zoe in. Because remember, Zoe was out of mana after that fight. She hasn't backed yet, and this is
Right.
where we come in and we're gonna hold the wave. So like you're actually not giving yourself the information of the Zoe. Like what if I look at Zoe, I can see that I can just hold her here and she's fucked. But if I don't, like you might have missed this, and you might just think like you might think Zoe has half mana or something, and then you're like, I can't hold this because Zoe Qs me. Which I mean,
Right.
either way, I think right now you can hold it. But yeah, this is the QW on the wave is really good. Pull the E to yourself to shield damage, and just like this is what I don't like. Fuck this minion. Leave it. It's 14 gold. Go stop her
Right.
recall
Go stop a recall.
because this 14 gold that you miss, guess what? If you stop her recall, she's missing another 100, like guaranteed, because she's not gonna get the next wave. So like keep walking up, find her, find her. Where's that? Echo's not gonna kill you. Like you'll literally again, you have phase rush, you have your W, you could literally he drops his E. I know Zoe Zoom, so if he comes out here and I'm like down here or something, I'll just either walk this way or I'll walk down or say if I just think he can't if I see he missed his like W, like he put it somewhere over here, I'll just walk to my tower, right? And then kite him.
Right.
Like I don't care. Um but this is really big for you. And then because so if we stop Zoe's back, we'd freeze it.
Right. But
Until
we didn't
we
spot Zoe's back.
yeah, we didn't stop Zoe's back, so we're just gonna assume that she's in base right now, and like I can just shove this, and since my wave's not a cannon wave, she's gonna miss these 6, and I'll get all these, and then I can recall too. If this is a cannon, if you shove it, she's probably gonna hit the cannon because of how long they hold on her turn, depending on how fast you can shove this out. If you know you can shove this out really quickly, which you have blue buff, so you can probably, then you can just shove it out either way. and then that allows you to recall. But just some factors to consider is like how long
Right.
will it be before Zoe comes back, and how fast do I push? Because this ends up being so big. You're like a full level up now, if not like a level and a half, right? This is
Yeah.
massive, and you have a huge buy. Lost chapter blasting wand, yeah, so big. So now I would just play to like slow pushing on her at this point. It's kind of hard if she just focuses her Qs onto the waves, but just every time she's gonna Q the wave, you can just hit her, right? And then this comes out of it, which is fucking huge. I hope you saw this kill too. Like this was,
Yeah. Well, as soon as she missed the bubble.
yeah. I mean, so what you're this position you have right now is really good. So instead of walking at her right here, what I would do though is walk down this way
Right, and
and
then
try to
just
Q.
QW her
Yeah,
again.
and then just like play with her, right? Because if she comes to this wall, she's getting hit by your QW guaranteed. She can't juke once
Right.
she steps here. But if you like run at her, it's kind of awkward that like she keeps running down and now you're like max range like this, and it's just weird. Like there's
My
different
fear
level
is
of
just that I'm
pressure.
gonna get like ult. She's just gonna ult directly on top of me and bubble me.
Well, you have that's what is you have those minions like right in front of you, like this one.
Right. Right.
I guess you don't. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you did for a second, but I think you just hit her with like a Q into an auto, dodge the bubble. But like like okay, so one thing you said is that I like though is like you said I'm afraid she's gonna E into me or R into me and E me. Okay, so instead of running away from her when she does that, just be ready to juke down or up, whichever you feel
Right.
is more correct. You could go up here and like go into a minion wave, and then you could just Q it on her return and then ult her, right? So I
Yeah.
don't really care as long as I'm confident I'll dodge the bubble. I mean, there might be a situation where you're like, I can't dodge the bubble, like it's too risky. But if you already have it in your head what she's gonna do, like she's probably just gonna try to bubble right onto you, right? So as soon as you see her R animation, you just step sharply down. She misses. Or if she didn't bubble right away, then you step down and then step up because she's gonna throw it down now. But I think all this was really good though. But just like I feel like every time we get a skill shot thrown at us, we're just like running away from it instead of trying to like
Juke it.
juke it. And we click so far away from ourselves every time we run back. Look how far your mouse goes, all the way to the top of your screen. You can do the same thing if you're just clicking right here.
Right.
And then you can also just whip your mouse back at her a little bit faster. Like it's not, it feels like it's not that bad to do this, but like when you get in the habit of putting your mouse so far away to run away, if you're gonna try to juke sideways, your mouse goes like all the way over here, here, or like here, which is just so weird, right? Like
Right.
it's just less control. Whereas like if I'm putting my mouse here, then when I need to juke sideways, I'm right here instead of going here and then to here, or here and to here. It's just so much easier to do this
Right.
or this. Like that's like Vagar cage, right? Oh my god, Vagar's walking at me. I'm gonna click all the way back here. Now when the cage comes down, I'm not really ready to like put it down here.
Right.
But yeah, this play was really good. Like this pretty much just the game's over. Zoe's out of the game now. You just shove this, you get Ludens, and you can even we see Echo Bot opt that just a little Senna ulti. And even if you don't see him again, I'm not even afraid of him. I mean, I wouldn't be at least. I would just check level 6. Yeah, fuck no. I'm not afraid of him, dude. I'm going to kill him in like 2 QWs. Yeah, this was so good. You get the wave. So the reason I don't say go for the second plate is if you go for the second plate, it's always going to respawn soon. And if you think you can get this by the time these minions are going to die, it's okay. But it's not really worth to put it down to like this much HP if you
Right.
can just go Raptors and then get more value like Raptors into recall because the Raptors will also like give you about 100 gold and it also gives you XP though, which can be like considered gold value. I don't know what the exact conversion would be, but if you want to be like, oh, it's 160 gold as opposed to 100, it's like, but the XP is so valuable. And you're also making the Echo useless. Like, he's so mad. An Echo who can't farm his Raptors is so mad, dude. Like, it's so easy to farm Raptors as Echo. So this is really big, and then I think you leave a ward at it too, which is really nice.
Yeah. So you said I should have recalled faster, but like, does that mean I just drop the word right here and then just start backing?
I think
Like I don't
you
even
can
walk.
ward here, you can recall right behind this wall, you can ward here, you can recall in this bush. Again, Echo's not a threat to you, and if he does come to you, like it's not gonna be the worst if your recall gets stopped because you have TP, and you can probably just like kill Echo or half health him. He's level 6. You just hit level 10.
Right.
What like you'll QW even though you like don't have very many items, you'll like one shot him. And I don't like pinking this on recall. And I think, yeah, so we had to come shove this way back. I don't like pinging this on recall though, especially if you warded this, because these two wards kind of give you the same info. Whoever comes here is like walking like this. Obviously they can go up river, but
Right.
I mean, if you just ping this and recall, if someone comes here, they clear it, and you can't pressure it. Like normally they wouldn't be able to clear it because you're shoving up mid, and you see someone like here, you just bounce back and try to hit them. Or you know, if I'm Echo and I'm trying to walk this way, I'm really afraid of like Elise. If Orianna's up on my turret, I do not want to walk here as Echo. Like that's so scary.
Right.
Because if Elise shows up, like I wasted so much time. But so the reason I said you can't recall now is because Zoe, you killed her. Zoe's probably like right somewhere. I guess I need to see the death timer, but you can just off of death timer, kind of okay, yeah, 3 seconds. Think about like from now, right? She respawned. Okay, tracker. So I've killed these raptors. Just feeling wise, all right. Now I'd say with home guard, Zoe's probably like here now. So now you're in the bush, recalling. I'm like, okay, you can't, because if you do, she's already like right here now, and she's by the time you're in base, she pushes this, you miss a whole wave for nothing, because you're not unhealthy enough. Yeah, there we go. You're not unhealthy enough that like you can still fight her, even though you have a lot of gold. It's not
Right.
optimal, but you're not afraid of her. Like you probably still have more items than her, and you're level 10. It's like,
Yeah.
and you're half mana, you're almost full HP. You're not afraid of like pushing this wave out on her and just crashing it and going for a recall then. But otherwise, you're just forcing yourself to miss a wave for like no reason. If you're out of mana by the time you do it, then you probably just don't factor in the Raptors into your play. You probably just recall instead of doing Raptors if it's going to put you in.
Right.
Or if you're going to have to do a lot quicker of a recall. But yeah, she's so fucked now. You're just playing to kill her at this point. Like look how far we're so afraid. I mean, maybe echo pressure, but like at this point, is she being stupid or is Echo here? But I mean, you have the Raptors warded, so you can just be staring at that and saying, "Do we see Echo cross this?" Because like honestly, right now you can just be playing aggressive onto her down here.
Right.
Because if Echo comes out from up here, bye, whatever, you just play to dodge the bubble, and you could definitely just destroy her. But we're so afraid of her. We're so afraid of her.
I think I was just playing to get my back off.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get your back
Just
off if you're playing like this. How do you
like
get your
just
how
or
do you
not like get my back off immediately, but just like get enough of the gold for a big like full Luton's boots
Okay.
back, which we got.
But I think you can even just do that without playing so afraid, though. Like I don't
Right.
like you can still play for that while playing aggressively, but it's okay. It just depends on it's the risk associated. If Echo's a big risk factor to you, it's fine to be like this. Because you have no flash. But if you're pretty confident with your vision, or if you like maybe took a second to just go step up here and ward this, now I can play aggressively on her from up here.
Right.
Like if I have my ward up, yeah, I have Raptors warded, great. But like as she comes into lane, where is it? Okay, it's right here that we push the first wave out. Maybe instead of like, well, you could recall here, but I think we don't need to. We can just wait for the better buy. Oh yeah, she stops you. That's why I agree to recall. Um, Now at this point, as soon as she stopped you here, walk up here, ward this.
Right.
And now like you can kind of, because obviously this ward's good, but Echo still could do some wacky pathing and get onto you. But if you have this warded now, like I'm pretty confident I can just play right here, um, and just cut Zoe off.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you come into this part, right, you can walk up with your wave, stay up here, and try to just queue her through the wave constantly. Because now you're okay queuing the wave and her. Like that's almost preferable to you to be able to hit her and the wave is nice. Because you want to recall anyways. So if you're getting damage on her and you're shoving, like 2 for 1. I don't have to play just to hit her or to hit the wave anymore because you're strong. Like there's not really a freeze potential. Um, she can wave clear very easily from outside of vision, right? She's gonna do here, QR over the wall. Your whole caster
Right.
wave's dead. Like you can't really stop her from doing that. So like right here, when you see her Q animation, I want to be in range now. Like I like after, especially after that goes down, like look at this
Right.
minion.
Like
This minion is what I want to be on. I want to be like right here.
can maybe alter and kill her with
Yeah,
a bot lane.
yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not even alter, but like if you hit her with 1 QW, then next time your QW's up, your R will kill, right? So
Right.
we're thinking about setting up the kill, and we know she's gonna Q this wave. We know. There's no way she doesn't, right? 100% she Qs. So I want to be positioned for when she does Q, she takes damage, or that she's not comfortable queuing, so she's gonna miss these 3 minions.
Right.
But you're giving her so much room to like she knows that she can hit this melee. But if I'm like in line with this melee, if she chooses to go for me or the melee, I don't even care if she really hits me because I want to recall soon anyways, and I'll just trade back onto her with a QW and the next time R her. So like I'm thinking about my position. Where can I actually just still punish her? Like I don't need to play so safe. Like that Q is really good. But you see it, so now if I'm just up here by my ball, or even if I'm like a little bit more down here, as
Right.
soon as she walks up, like as soon as I see her cast this Q, what am I doing? I'm walking at her. I'm not afraid of this Q. It's not gonna kill you. But I'm still gonna try to dodge it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just gonna like
Right.
int it. So like so she tosses Q back. I start walking in, and then as soon as I see the second Q popped, I just step down and then I step in again. Because now down is just better because if I go up and she aimed it at the wave, I'm gonna get hit. So most likely she aims it here because she's gonna hit the wave or me if I move up. But if I move down, great. If she hits me, okay, cool. I'll still win the trade because I'm so strong. It's not the same if you're like, you know, behind her, of course. But we need to push our lead more here, a lot more. Don't like she shouldn't be. I don't. Zoe shouldn't feel comfortable doing this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And does it sound like something you could do? Or are you
Yeah.
looking at
I
that like
totally like this.
being like what I'm gonna die? Because I don't think you'll die. One Q from her at level 8 at that
Well, I
point
mean, I
is
like I don't know because I don't do it.
exactly. Yeah, like
So like I'm not
literally.
sure if she'll one shot me or
That's a
not.
problem. Like it's because you're like, well, it's not like you should be like, oh, I want to just int and lose every game, but like you should know what's a kill or not. And if you don't know, you need to learn, right? Like
Right.
that's why
Like
losing is okay. Like yes, people will flame you, but that's why like pros go 0 and 11 too. Like it happens. You know what? Like it's limit testing is a real thing. It's just to what extent is limit testing versus inting. Like if you did
right.
that to Zoe and she killed you, and then you do it again 5 seconds later when she's already stomping you, like okay, now you're inting because obviously it worked the first time. The second time,
It's gonna work even
when
harder.
you're already losing, playing like that is a little bit much, right? But when you're
Yeah.
winning, like it's totally fine. And then I like this rotation top a lot too. So we recalled. I think we TP'd mid here, right? Yeah, that was fine. Oh wait, do we kill her here? No. Yeah, bot lane kills her. Oh no, she flashed. Okay,
No,
that's what
she
it was.
flashed.
Yeah, so you're going bot, and this is like I was like, whoa. Look at this. These guys are diving your volley bear. This
Right.
is why like when you see this, you need to be looking at top because if you look at this and there's like no wave under volley's turret, or like not a cannon or just a small wave and volley's full HP, you could be like, okay, they're just gonna back off. I can't really have time to go up. Maybe now I just go follow Elise and get Raptors or go catch bot. But I'm looking at their stance and they want to dive him. And especially if you look at this and you see that they rift, and if they have a big wave crashing like they do, like that's a roam top because they're committing. Like that wave is
Yeah.
just crashing. They're rifting. That's a bit like look how big that wave is. That's a dive wave. It's not the biggest wave. It's still a dive wave, and they always go through river because you're gonna cut them off. If you go Senna's path, you're not gonna kill Echo here, and you'll actually see that now, right? If
Yeah.
not, you're where Senna is. You're actually probably right behind her. How do we kill Echo now? He's gone. River is always faster if you're safe to go that way. It doesn't even matter that they have scuttle. They're not going to look at their map while they're fighting Volley Bear under its turret. Like, or they just don't care. And then we just stay
Right.
top and let Volley Bear recall and go somewhere because you have so much pressure and Dragon's up and Echo's dead. 3 people are dead. Dragon's free. You don't need to be there.
Right.
5v5 or we don't kill her to those two top. Okay, we don't commit to top right now. We probably just reset and go to Dragon. But you can like reasonably deduce that Dragon's free, right?
Yeah.
There's no way to hold it. So like yeah, right now what I'm saying is just try to get in range of the Vel'Koz and just be able to QW him because like if you hit him literally twice, he's dead. You're so fucking big right now. And then like even here, I think we went and warded, but um,
Wasn't deep enough.
well it depends on who are you against, right? Zoe, if you might be afraid of Zoe bubbling from here, if they have a Zac, you're gonna be afraid of him going to this wall. So we might want to put the ward like in here instead of in here, because then
Right.
that this position is eing over is a big threat to you. This is like an okay ward, but if you see someone like shallow like this and you're like way over here, by the time you see this person, they cut you off. So it gives you the information to like outplay them, like if you can do 2v1 or whatever, right? But if it's someone with like hard CC, like if Echo gets behind you and then Riven's chasing you, you're probably gonna die. I mean, you could phase
Yeah.
rush out, you might survive, but there's just risk. So instead, it's like you might just be better off getting, since this is warded, you can get a ward in that bush like above blue buff, like the kind of new bush. Because
Yeah.
now you'll see people walking this way, you'll see someone blast coning over you, and you'll also see someone coming this way. The only thing you won't see is if they go all the way around, which I don't know how they'd get here. They're not going to in this case. Um, but this ward right now covers your safe routes better because you'll see the person coming this way sooner, so you can
Hmm.
react a lot faster. And you have the time right now to go do it. Like, look at where the waves are, right? You've got until this wave meets mid, which is a long time. So we warded that, and look, we're still just gonna come back and walk in circles now. Like that could have been just time better used to getting a deep ward.
Right.
Yeah, so then you're just gonna like look for slow push here, because the reason we slow push, we don't just crash it, is because we're gonna assume if someone's under their turret, if we just shove this in, they get all 6 minions now, and I can't really kill the turret, especially if it's 2 people. If I leave this wave here, I can deny them. We've already denied them one melee. They're gonna get denied another one, and then when the next wave comes in, I can crash a bigger wave now, and then it's gonna be harder for this person to deal with me under their turret with more CS than just one wave, especially if it's a cannon too. But if you just shove into them, you're just donating that person all 6 CS.
Right.
And you're not really sure with just this ward is if someone's like in their jungle and your whole team, like Volibear doesn't really have pressure, he's backing up. These guys don't have pressure yet, so their team's pretty confident. There's no dragon. They could really easily just send 2 people or 3 people and just come on you from this bush. But with this wave crashing, even you can play in the pocket you do, which I like the pocket you take here as you come up to the top left because we don't have vision down here.
Yeah.
And Zoe disappears. Yeah, this was a really good spot to stand in right now. And then Zoe's gonna bubble in a second. You just don't get hit. Now this wave is fine to just shove because you're already this far up, and you already know who's here, and you see people in mid, and you know
Yeah.
Zoe's
We've seen
alone.
Riven and
Yeah,
we've seen their bot lane and
yeah.
jungle.
So you can just play really aggressive. So what I want you to do though is like you're standing too far into the turret right now without your ball down. So what you can do is, let me back up to pressure,
Yeah.
and it's like the same as mid lane, right? Your ball
I should have.
immediately should be right here now.
I should have picked it up and queued.
Even if you just queue for now, like your ball should just come right here, like the line on this turret. Because now
Yeah.
Zoe cannot really step up without like a free QW from you. Right? You're gonna hit her really easy. Like the ball is too much pressure from here. But if the ball's
Yeah.
on you, Zoe can walk up further because she has more time to dodge the ball. Because it has to travel all the way down. So you just put your ball down, and then you can slowly like inch your way forward. Like if your ball is right here, and now you can put it down here, and you can like stand further up here.
Right.
And then QW and walk out as soon as it does. Because your QW is like worth a turret shot. Plus you can just shield yourself the turret shot.
I think my QW is more than a tower
Yeah, it's
shot.
like we're not even QWing here. I don't know. You're so afraid of her for some reason. Just hit her. Yeah, look at that. And then another Q. Okay. I wouldn't have ulted yet. I would have waited like until my QW is up again. Because even like just because she might be able, like if you ult her, even if it hits, she might be able to flash away before your Q's off cooldown. So I think it's more
Right.
consistent. Just wait. Like if you disagree, feel free to like we can discuss it. But
No.
like
No.
even if this hit, this doesn't kill her, right? She drops down to like 2 bars, and then if she has
Yeah. I
flash up or
think.
anything, she just walks away. Or maybe even if without flash, she just walks away right now.
I think even knowing that, just knowing that she has ult up, I don't want to ult.
Yeah. And I don't think you need to ult her to kill her here. Even like literally just wait. Like okay, it's better because okay. Sorry. Let me get my thoughts together real quick. She has too low of HP to defend this turret now, anyways. So she's
Yeah.
forced out, and now you can just like your ult is gonna do better, like just having pressure for if someone else comes, or if she decides to stay, you'll kill her for sure. But basically, she's out right now,
Yeah.
and now we can come to this with our ulti if we need to, or if she stays, now we're gonna kill her on next rotation for free. And what you can do is just QW her, and then she's probably gonna assume that you're gonna R, and she'll just panic ulti herself, and then you just say the R, and like at that
Yeah.
point, you probably just Q her again and don't even need to ulti when she jumps back.
No.
But
Like
yeah,
she comes back and we kill her.
and this is totally the same concept of mid lane too, right? Not this isn't just specific to top lane because you can do
Mm-hmm.
the same stuff under turret. So now we just come mid. Our team's pressuring top. This is gonna be done by the time we get there. No point really going up there. So I'm just gonna say fuck it. Like I want to take over. And also what you can ask yourself is how much wave clear does the enemy team have? The more wave clear they have, the less effective this becomes, right? Because they just clear the wave, clear the wave, clear the wave. So it's
Yeah.
if you go, you're just gonna go watch them clear the wave, clear the wave, clear the wave. So it's be like, okay, I'm just gonna go down here
I
and
mean, they
eat,
have
eat.
Velikos, so
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna go down and eat all the camps, and then I'm also what's gonna happen is while someone's catching mid now, I'm gonna be pushing this to the turret, which forces them to miss this unless they decided to miss mid, and then obviously you're drawing pressure away from the four people who are top lane. But yeah, this was really good for you. Like this is where your 10 CS a minute comes from, is just doing this shit over and over. But then, as you said, like, do I kill the little ones or the minions? These will stay for a while, so you can just kill the minions. Or if there's a wave or Krugs right now, just do the wave first and then come to Krugs after, and then you can kite the Krugs out since you're gonna leave.
right.
Or if you don't need to leave, you can obviously just stay here and then come back. Um, but the wave first because these minions will die to your minions, and the Krugs will not obviously get killed by your minions. It just depends on like where's Echo or where's
Hmm.
like how much immediate threat do you have and how much time do you have. Because there'll be times if I know someone's like literally like in bot lane right now and I don't feel comfortable like if it's Talon or something, I might just leave this and I might just take the Krugs and leave. Like if I know Talon's like somewhere around like bottom side jungle, then I'm like I don't want a showdown here and then he just rushes for me. I'd rather just kite these over here and just leave and take that. And then whatever,
Right.
these minions die, but at least I got these. And more importantly, denied the enemy them. And again, even you don't always, even if you're doing just Krugs, you don't always have to take the whole Krugs. Just take it until you're not safe to take anymore. But then I like that
Right.
we come up here, we get our whole bot side jungle, we reset. There's no rush to be anywhere, so let's just get our item. We get our rod. Okay, now we're huge for the dragon fight. Now you just shove out mid. I think the rest is pretty good. We play for this dragon fight. Yeah, you kind of play it slow, which is good. Let Echo come over. You don't like panic ult him or anything. Thankfully, some people do, which is really weird. Just hold it. Yeah, you're just zoning Echo. He's forced out. Great. Come back onto the Caitlyn. Good shield. Yeah. Yep. And we just go mid. And your team goes bot, and then you're just gonna all you're gonna do is shove out mid. And if the enemies all come mid, you'll just either go top or link up with your team bottom lane after you push this wave out.
All right.
Just again depends. Are you safe to go top by yourself? If not, just you know what'll happen is the person on their team has to catch the mid wave, and then you go down and force like a 5v4 or in this case 5v3 if there's three people defending bot. Basically, you'll get bot for free by showing bot, and you just don't want to give up that like obviously this game you're safe to go top, but if I just always want to keep saying in case you're not, you just don't want to give
Right.
like the
It's
potential to you
context.
don't want to get the potential to get solo killed while your team is pushing bot. It's like I might as well just go bot and force this turret down for free. And then same thing here with like what we talked about Krugs, wave first, then come for the Gromp Blue. Because again,
Right.
now if they want to contest Gromp Blue, they're missing a cannon wave, and you're gonna kill anybody over here anyways. So like,
Yeah.
you're
Emerald
not
TF
really
and
rushed.
Flush.
Yeah, you're level 14. Like you're so big. Um, And then even now, again, there's no rush, and you have TP up, so we're just like literally playing to not even have to sell an item for a rod because we don't even really feel like we need to right now. We could just wait for death cap, which is also huge. But again, like if you're gonna like if your team's gonna force a Baron, it'd be better to like recall, sell Dorans, get your other than just our rod, and then TP to the fight and be huge, right? Um,
Right.
but if nothing's like there's no immediate threat, then it's okay to just play it slow, wait for your items. You're scaling. You're basically already scaled. You're so fucking big. Then death timers don't have time to take inhib, so we go back. We get the wolves, the gromp, the top again. I think they'd taken their gromp, but whatever. And then full death. Actually, they FF'd. That's why.
Yeah.
Um. So, where was it? Is this one? Um. Is there anything you want to look at more? Any questions you have, or anything I brushed over too much or too little?
Uh, Not really. I think it's just a lot to digest.
Yeah, that's why we have the VOD, thankfully, to like look at.
Yeah.
Just don't forget like the fluid play style that it feels like when you're doing like the late game rotations over camp to camp to camp, farm, farm, farm. It's not like we're giving up every single like fight to farm. We're looking at them. We're saying like, do I need to go there, or is it already done, or would I be better off
Right.
somewhere else? Like for example, this Realm top we do at what point? Oh, it was pretty far in, huh? Yeah, right here. Right, you were like, oh, we were gonna go for the bot farm, but like looking at this wave, it doesn't really look like by the time I get there, it's going to be thinned out. It's going to be so few
Yeah.
CS, and with the location of it, it'll slow push my bot tower anyways. So if no one on our team just is there to push it out, which I think we see people on the map, or like their bot line was dead or something, um, we're gonna be able to catch that anyways, or at least Elise will be able to go down and catch it, or Caitlyn will be able to rotate back down and catch it. But okay,
Right.
there's immediate threat up here that it just based on where they were standing on the mini map, like right here, where Echo walks up into this area, they're diving.
Yeah.
If Echo had went into the tri bush and like just sat in tri bush or like backed out, yeah, just go bot. But with Echo standing right behind this wall, you know he's diving.
Hmm.
So keep that stuff on. And seriously, like if you can just like keep up the rotations you did and like the fluidity and just getting 10 CS a minute, holy shit, man, it's so big. Like even if your mechanics are lacking a little bit, like it doesn't matter because you're so strong. Like
Right.
you can potato half the game and just one shot someone. Like you miss 3 combos, you land one, you kill, you got pentakill. Woohoo! I'm a good player. But literally, like you're just a better player because you played the rotations, the farming game out a lot better.
Right.
But think a lot about the level, like the early few waves. Like, do I really need to be so afraid? Like, what am I afraid of? Is there positions in the lane that I can stand in that like nullifies their ability? Like, or is their ability just so strong that I'm like I can't contest them? Because obviously in that case, like you just kind of play for the wave, um, try to key them when you can. But that's why Ori is such a good champion, is because like usually level one she is like uncontestable.
Right.
Like at least most matchups she has a way to win it. She's not just like Fizz, who's like, oh, watch myself get pushed in for 3 levels and then hopefully get a kill.
Right.
Like the enemy makes a mistake, but avoid these Qs. Like, oh, it seems small, but it's so big. Because right here, you can't pressure her because you don't want to go for like you can't just go for like an auto onto her when she can auto Q you, auto Q
Right.
auto. But if your Q's up, then you can step up behind this minion, wait for her to go for the last hit on it, and send an auto like Q into an auto at her, and then usually when you Q her, she's gonna try to Q you back. So you just go for like the Q and then you juke her. And usually the way to wait for the juke is just start walking back, and then as soon as you hear slash see the second cast of the spell, um, you take a turn.
Hard turn.
Yeah. Yeah, really try to get that, and just think about like most of that, like in laning phase, your clicks like every time you get just sense a skill shot at you, you tend to like walk back, but like right here, there's times where you like look back, like look at that, you're clicking so close to your champion here. Look at you're clicking like right here. That's good. Why whenever you get a skill shot sent to you, does your mouse go way up here? It's just panic.
Fear.
Exactly, it's panic.
Fear.
Yep, you have to just overcome that. Um, but yes,
Just
like
be cognizant of it.
the game went so well for you. Like you still shit on this Zoe despite like it started really bad for you, but like wave management and farming and then just pressuring her made this game just free for you. Like seriously, I don't even think you got a gank from Elise a single time,
No.
and we still fucking destroyed her. But hopefully, looking back at this, you can see just like the lack of pressure you have in the lane, and for no reason. Like look how far away you walk again. You're level 2,
Right.
she's level 1.
There's no need to be back there.
Yeah, there's no need. Just on this queue, right? Look how far up she walked. If I'm like over behind these minions, or if I even just see this, wherever minion, because she's going for a last hit with this queue. She's not really trying to hit you, right? Or
Yeah.
she's trying to queue this minion, and obviously she's trying to hit you too. But like, yeah, she's going for this minion entirely. So if just you're already standing right here and you see her starting the queue and you just start walking this way, when she steps up, like to get in range of this minion, you're going to be able to QW or Q auto into an E or just Q auto, different
And
combos
then E
depending on how
out.
much time you have, right? But
Right.
there should just be so much pressure, so much more pressure from this. Like that was good. We get bubbled. This is the gank, which is unfortunate.
No, this is the
Oh,
gank.
it's not
The
the gank. We
gank
just
is
get
level
bubbled.
like 3 or 4.
So the one I'm sorry if I almost missed this. Don't put yourself on these walls ever. This is how you get bubbled because there's nowhere you can juke. You can never go down this way. So if she just aims it, like how hitboxes work, that like the side of it'll clip you a little bit more. So
Yeah.
if her E hitbox is like, let's just say it's like this, if she puts it so like the side of it is like this, then there's nowhere you can juke to dodge it. Like obviously if you're right here, you can go down, but
But
if
like
you
we're
as soon as
against
you
the
step
wall.
right here, yeah, it's gonna hit you. Like it'll clip you. The only way to dodge it now is to like basically maybe you can outrun it, but there's you're gonna get hit. Like this is how you guarantee you get hit. If you're literally just standing right here, you can now juke into the wall or you can juke out here. There's so many more options. But just
Right.
hugging that wall is like an oof, right? Because this is where you see you come towards the wall, Like she kind of eat a little early, but your juke was into this wall. Where again, if she just now if she's standing up here or anywhere over here, if she just aims it like at that wall, how do you juke it? The side of it's gonna hit you because you can only go
Right.
up or down now. So she aims it straight at you, and either if you go up or down, doesn't matter because the angle is gonna hit you. So try to stay away from the walls, but at least against champions with skill shots. If it's like a Nope, can't think of anybody. Most people are going to be able to hit you on that wall. And you can also
Right.
look for other people stepping on that wall because, like as we said with Zoe, you can get a free QW on her by oh, you want to step by this wall? I'm going to pressure you a lot when you go here because it's going to be really hard for you to dodge it. And a lot of time that
Right.
what they're going to do is they're going to come right here and they're going to keep wiggling back and forth right here trying to dodge it, and it's going to
And you
let you
just
keep
auto.
walking in the range. Now you're just autoing her. Like, hey, nice jukes, man. Now I'm in auto range and you can't juke. That's in like more dominant lanes. But you can play
Right.
for like just look at the minions. No, she wants to auto like last hit on these minions. Like that would have been a really good minion to pressure on, and I saw you going for it. Um, but obviously it's gank timing, and that's unfortunate. Um,
Yeah.
but that's what you're looking to do, like in the games as Orianna, especially is how can I just pressure this lane while being safe? Um, like the safest spot for me that like makes Zoe like the enemy mid laner. It's hard for them to do the job that they want to do, while it's also letting me still hit them and pressure them. And if you have the
Right.
wave in your favor, it's like, oh, I'll take damage for damage because again, I don't have to last hit. You do. I'm already here. I'll last hit whenever I need to. You're the one who has to thin the wave out. You're the one who's going to not be able to recall. As soon as I crash this wave, I'm out of here. I'm full HP again. So is Zoe going to be able to do that if I crash a big wave? Nope. She's going to be sitting there with 200 HP. Even if I have 200 HP, I crashed a wave. She has 200 HP. She's stuck here. I'm gone. And then I TP back, and she's stuck here with 200 HP, and I'm fresh back, full HP. So I don't
Right.
care. Like when I'm gonna crash the wave, I don't give a shit how low this Zoe gets me on HP. She's gonna feel like she's trading with me really evenly, and then she's gonna see me recall, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I'm fucked." Like either I recall now and miss this whole wave, or I watch Orianna just zone like what I don't do anything the rest of the game basically, no matter what she
Right.
does, unless she has like TP. But then it's forcing her TP out. Um, but I think yeah, that was like a big concept, and then like this ward that you wanted to do off the bot lane roam, that was not what I wanted. That was not ideal. Where was it? Was it right? I don't remember. Where did Zoe go bot? I think it was already past this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Then just like quickly to touch on wave management, like the ideal thing to do in the
mm.
first like 6 waves or whatever, or like at least in laning phases to try to slow push.
Well,
Like
like when
if
you're
you're
on a
not
winning,
like
sorry.
horrifically scared of
Yep.
their jungler, like
hmm
if you don't think you're gonna die, you want to slow push. Like
Yeah.
if you
Yep.
can, if
Yes.
you have control.
hmm Yeah. And I'm assuming you're wondering why.
Yeah.
So it's because of this. So it's because as soon as you have the slow push, think of it like this: your minions are always pushing their minions, then, right? And your minions will always win the push.
Right.
So
So then,
so she needs to touch this wave in order to make it so she doesn't get like stuck under her turret. And
and we're free to
you don't
hit
need to
her
yeah,
and just
exactly.
last
You
hit.
don't need to touch her wave to do anything. You can just look at what she's doing and play entirely around her and then just last it whenever you need to.
Right. And then
And
you
try
get
to
the
do it on the
crash and you
autos.
can do whatever you want.
Exactly. And then if you do it like successfully or if they're unable to like some champions are just naturally like based on the champion like Xerath is going to be have an easy time just wave clearing you out because he just queues it, right? He stands off your screen and queues it. Obviously
Yeah.
Xerath mid's not really a popular champ, but just for the sake of example, like maybe a Victor E2. But early on, at least what you're doing now is you're forcing that champion to spend their mana on minions,
Right.
which he's not going to be able to queue every single last hit because his cooldowns are long early game. So he either queues you for damage or he queues the minion wave to get last hits and like try to counter the push, which will no matter what now he's going to be missing CS. And if he queues you, he's not getting CS. If he queues CS, you're staying full HP while he's losing mana, and it's just going to make it like once he's half mana or getting low on mana, you're just like okay, I'm gonna force it on you because one more trade from you. If the Xerath now is half mana uses a QEW on me when I'm full HP, he's out of mana now. And I'm sitting here with 75% mana and maybe I lost 40% of my HP. But now, hey, what? Look, I got a health potion. Good luck playing the lane out of mana, Xerath. Good job clearing the wave with your Q.
Right.
Um, so that'd be like them. But against like Zoe or Cassidon, someone that you have an easy time just like pushing in, you crash that huge 3 stacked wave or 2 stacked wave, whatever, with the cannon. Um, Again, you're gonna have a really easy time now hitting them under their turret, or you can recall and go for your like Dark Seal, Extra Dorns, refillable pot buys, and just while they're stuck in lane with usually lower mana, lower HP, and just no items, and you're full mana, full HP again coming into the wave. And then you know what's gonna happen is if you crash that wave under turret, what's gonna happen? It's gonna bounce back to you, right? So
Right.
we're already setting up for a freeze. So when I come back to lane now, I don't have to worry about thinning the minion wave out because I already know I'm gonna hold it over here and I'm just gonna come in and just start fucking hitting her again while she's sitting there with low mana trying to crash this wave on me.
Right.
And since she can't crash it, what is she gonna do
She
now? She's no
she has
mana.
to back,
She
sad
had
back,
Yep, and
and then
she's gonna
lose.
miss a whole nother wave. And then by the time you and more no, there's a gold value to it, but what you really should pay attention to is your XP because that means you're hitting
Right.
level 6 or whatever spike you need to kill them much before them, and you can play around that. So like if I'm for the sake of example, let's say I'm like Fizz and the enemy Orianna really fucked up the wave and I got an XP advantage. When I hit level 6, I'm going all in immediately because she has
Right.
no answer. So that's kind of like the concept. And you can play around XP. Like levels are huge. Levels are worth a shit ton of gold.
Yeah.
Just the stats and stuff you get. Um, but yeah. So like, just remember, mana is a resource. Like mid laners need their mana. Everybody, honestly, it's not just mid. Everybody needs mana to be able to control the wave. So once this guy goes he can't trade with me. He can't control the wave. He can't do anything, and it's all in my control.
Right.
And I'm just gonna laugh at this Zoe and try to like make her just fall behind as much as possible. Maybe she recalls, she gets her item and now she comes back and clears it. But I made her miss a whole wave or two waves, and then when she's clearing it, because she has to invest in clearing the wave, I'm gonna invest in hitting her again. And then I'll clear
Right.
the wave, whatever, and then make it even again. But I'm already putting myself again at an advantage. And the next recalls, I have more gold than her, and the gold discrepancy just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing. And then I hit my Luden Zeko while she has lost chapter boots of speed, and then I'm gonna shit on her, and then I'm gonna control the whole game, right? And then they're gonna be mad that their Zoe's getting fucking wrecked. Dude, you know how hard I bet you think this Zoe didn't get flamed for having 100 less CS than you at 20 minutes? A
The
hundred
flame
less
horizon.
CS? That's insane. Like that's
Right.
oof, that's yikes. But does that make sense? The wave clear stuff, or look what we're playing for in the early game.
Yeah.
And so again, think of that stuff with like Xerath. You don't feel bad when he Qs the minions because you're not hitting him. No, he's using mana, and pay attention to that. And just pay attention to their mana dropping and dropping and dropping. And then once they get half mana, especially like LeBlanc, if you're not going to die to one combo from her, let her combo you and trade back with her. And then just laugh while she's sitting there like, wait, what do I do now? And you're like, dude, I know you're now. Like, you can't do anything. Like, good way to get half my HP to be able to do absolutely nothing for the next 2 minutes until you
Right.
recall or whatever. And that's something that I think in this heal people lack the most is paying attention to like actually what can I do with this trade. If I'm LeBlanc and I full combo you and just a half HP, but I use like all I have is enough mana for maybe one spell or like one QW, not even an E. What do I do after that? Nothing. So probably don't use your combo on the champion and just wave clear and then recall and come back at a spot where you can now do something.
Right.
So and use that to your advantage to the fact that people aren't going to respect stuff like that. Like this Zoe didn't, right? She goes completely out of mana trying to like
Yeah, she goes
literally the
and then
example of it is like the first time you freeze on her, right? She's completely
and then we freeze and like we're back in the game after dying to a gank.
Yeah, I mean you go 3-1 on what did we already pass it? I didn't see it. I must have already passed
What are you looking for?
the freeze. Like where she
Oh,
goes
the first
Oh, it's
freeze. The
right here.
first
Right
freeze
here is
is right
RB1.
here. Yeah,
Yeah, right here. And you can
it's
just
really
already
early.
see it right now. Like, oh no, she's got, or not even, not where is it? Like right now, she's low mana. If she hits you with a combo, is it gonna kill you? No. But what's gonna happen?
No.
She goes out of mana. I'm gonna laugh at her now because I'm gonna use my refillable to go back to full HP, right? And obviously, I know you're gonna cancel this, but oh
Yeah.
no, Zoe used her Q and hit me. Wow. Good luck pushing this out, Zoe, with this cannon here. And then what? Did she throw? I think she throws a bubble out and misses, and then also uses a Q.
Yeah.
But you do need to consider like if this wave stays this healthy and we're not thinning it at all, it will be hard to hold it, in certain positions. So sometimes you need to do a little bit more thinning, sometimes you don't, and that's like
Right.
practice and just seeing it, recognizing it. You're not going to be like immediately a pro at. I mean, maybe you will be, but you're most likely not going to be immediately like a pro at being like this wave is just like this. It's like it's a skill, it's practice. You know, it's not.
Right.
It's not just like something you know or don't know, something you work at. Um, but yeah, you can see the effects of it. Just literally, this is such a good example of it because if you let this wave crash, it's always fine. But you should just
Yeah.
see, like, it doesn't matter if I try to run at her because what she can't kill me. She's Zoom.
Yeah. I mean,
I
it's
don't
like a
care about
cannon
tanking
against
this.
non-cannon waves.
Yeah.
So.
And if it's so bad that like you're so low and you have no refillable pots and you're like really uncomfortable here, you can just like clear the cannon right now and then recall, and it'll still slow push to you. Or
Yeah.
like thin it out so they just have a little bit more minions than you, and then you can recall. And yes, you'll lose a little bit, but she's still gonna miss more. And that's like in the worst case scenario for you here, with trying to freeze, because you can just know that like even if you recall, if they have a little bit more minions than you, it's still slow pushing to you. You just kind of have to pay
Right.
attention to like if you left it like this, these minions would all definitely
It's
die
gonna
and it would
crash.
crash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
gonna
so,
crash, and
so you
I'm gonna
do.
lose most of them.
Yeah, exactly. So you do a little bit of thinning, and then Zoe will beat you to lane, so she'll be able to crash it, but you'll still get the majority of the wave is the thing. Or you'll
Right.
come to the lane as she's crashing it, which means again she missed like this 3 melees in this next minion wave, and you've missed like a caster or two or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
still advantageous to you, and that's only if you like really like you're out of mana also, or you're very low on mana and kind of like half HP, and you're just not comfortable staying. But yeah,
And then last
yeah.
thing. When you say cheater, is that third wave or fourth wave? And like, what are you trying to do with that?
Essentially, it's just any wave that you can crash, like a big wave and recall. And what you're doing with it is you're forcing. It's what we just said. You're forcing her to stay under her turret while you're getting a recall off or anything. Like it could just be a
Okay,
realm or anything.
so it's just
Literally,
like a big slow push into a
yeah,
crash, and then
yeah, yeah,
immediately back
yeah.
if you can do
So
it
so
early.
So for example, like literally the wave we were just looking at with the freeze right here. If this crashes, Zoe recalls, she doesn't miss anything because she knows it's going to come back.
Right.
And so she
So
could just
it's like
recall and feel comfortable, and then that. But if it's called cheater just because it's like level 3, and you're just picking up like the extra dark seal. Like you're just getting a
right,
little bit stronger than her, and also hopefully you've poked her in the process so that
right,
she's
and
used her potions, her sustain, her mana, and then you're coming back, and you're basically just gonna pull this on her with this exact example of this wave. Like, it's literally gonna
right.
look like this at like wave 4.
So you want a big enough wave to keep them in lane. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the point.
yeah, yeah. Well, because under turret, they can't like clear it fast enough, right? If she tries to queue all the casters, she's gonna miss them all now. So she has to wait for the turret to like individually hit them. So she
Right,
doesn't have the time to like shove it out under her turret early on in the game. And the turret's not going to kill it immediately or anything. It's not like it is AOE. So you're going to have the time to, yeah, you might miss one or two minions, but you're going to have the time to recall and come back to this like exact lane state basically. But it'll be like level 3. Um, and that it could be on wave 3. Sometimes it'll be on wave 4. It just depends on how much the enemy is able to clear it. But if Zoe's throwing all of her Qs to constantly try to clear the wave, then she's going to go and then you're going to have an easy time doing it now because you can literally do it on command because she has no way to contest it.
right.
But if she just recalls when she's zoomed, then you just shove it and crash it on her and make her miss more that way. Does that clear it up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna end the recording here for now at least.